there's a lot of business that gets done at that owners meeting that I know a lot of fans aren't all that interested in. They'll be handling some business when it comes to international. They have 7 games being played overseas in 2025. They have television deals to talk about. They're going to improve. They're going to likely approve the Thursday night flex for another year at this meeting as well. A lot of that stuff, they'll be sorting through that stuff. There will be some announcements on the schedule, of course, over the 3 days in Florida. But I know what most fans are interested in is the rules changes, and so there are some big bucket rules changes proposals that are on the docket to be voted on over the course of the next couple of days. One is the tush push. And this, of course, has gotten a lot of attention over the years. Everybody knows where I stand on that. I am flatly against banning the tush push. The reason why, I don't think you should be banning a play that one team has mastery of. It just feels to me like a non-competitive vote. If you're voting to ban that play in particular, and it's a play, again, like the Eagles can pull it off without having guys pushing Jalen Hurts. If you watch the structure of that play and you've watched those plays over the course of years now, you see there are a lot of cases where Jalen Hurts is just getting lower, using that 500-pound squat with those linemen in front of him and being able to shove through. So I personally do not think that the owners are going to vote that through. We'll see what happens. I think it's possible, but I do not think the owners will vote that through. Another potential rules change. This one was proposed by the Steelers. This one I really like. They would allow for Zoom calls for free agents during that negotiating period, that 52-hour period from the beginning of legal tampering to the beginning of the league year. I think ultimately what they should go to is maybe a week-long negotiating period where you can't finalize deals, but guys can take visits. I think it would allow for teams to get to know the players a little bit better. I think it would allow for the players to get a better feel for what they're signing up for. And this is a step in that direction. This isn't all the way there, but this is a chance for teams to sit down with players and talk with players. I really don't understand why it's only agents during that 52-hour period that can communicate with teams anyway. Nonetheless, this allows for them to do that. Would also allow for teams to arrange travel for those players that they come to a verbal agreement with for right after the beginning of the league year. So again, I think that's progress just as far as the evolution of the way the free agent period is handled. The Lions had a rules proposal. This one, I go back and forth a little bit on. It's removing the automatic first down from defensive holding and illegal contact penalties. My hesitation with this one is the way the defensive backs coaches will coach this, in that if you take the automatic first down away, if you're in a 3rd and long situation, there's nothing stopping a defensive backs coach from coaching his corners or a linebackers coach from coaching his linebackers, where if they get beat on a double move or they get beat on a break, to just go and drag the guy to the ground. Now you can say, oh yeah, well you can have 2 levels of penalty. Well, they removed that from the face mask years ago, where you used to have the incidental face mask and then you had the egregious face mask. And the idea was it was hard to legislate intent. I think that's, this would be in that category as well. So I don't know whether or not they're going to vote this one through. I would, personally be against it. I don't mind the automatic first down being part of this rule. Just again, because of that unintended consequence. And then I think the other rule that you got to take a look at here is the overtime rule. And what they're going to do with the overtime in 2025 potentially is take the playoff rule to the into the regular season. I don't mind that. I think that'd be something I'd be in favor of too. So it's the same rule across the board. I am interested to hear what the broadcast partners have to say on this. The broadcast partners really like to keep the games within the broadcast windows as much as possible. So the potential that this could extend games out, even if it's just a few games a year, could be a problem for the broadcast partners. And then finally, there's the kickoff. It's making the kickoff permanent, the new kickoff permanent. It's also, and this is an interesting nuance to it. It's taking the touchback and moving it to 35 so you get more kickoffs returned. They did get a lot of the result that they wanted. This is a player safety measure, of course. If you look at the past data, what it would tell you is that the injury rate on the kickoff was about double what it was on a normal play from scrimmage offense or defense. And the new kickoff, at least the early data, and again, this is a smaller sample size because it's only a single year, but the newer data shows that it's about equal to what a normal play would be, which is what they were looking for, which is why I think they'll vote this through. And again, like I think the idea is to put the kickoff back in the game. And if you have a play that has the same injury rate as a normal play and you want to put the kickoff back in the game, I don't think there's anything stopping you from moving the touchback to try to promote more guys running the ball taking the ball out. So that's where we are at with all of that. I think you have a mixed bag as far as rules changes passing and rules changes being voted down.